Yep. Good morning, everyone. So, yesterday we started learning about SAS. Have you installed it? Tested? Working? So, don't use command prompt for don't use PowerShell for compiling. Always use command prompt. PowerShell will not compile. Errors will come. So, installed successfully, everyone. Able to create that SAS file, translated, CSS coming, right? Because that is only the issue you will face in the beginning, right? So one problem you will face is you might be using some different location, compiling from different location. Make sure that you open the terminal in the same location where you kept your SCSS file. So here we created one simple example to understand how the SCSS works. But now we will see the features of this, how to work with that SAS concepts. So why we are using SAS? Why we are using SAS? What is the main intention of using SAS? To utilize all the programming features as a developer so that we can improve reusability, extensibility in CSS. Directly in CSS, it will take time. It becomes very complex. With SAS, through programming techniques, it will be easy. For example, I will tell you one point. Suppose, have you ever used any CAD systems like AutoCAD? Have you heard 3ds Max? Civil engineering, electrical engineering, we have some CAD systems. Softwares are there. They can draw civil drawings, machine drawings, 3D modelings and all. Generally, drawing means what people think. So if I want to draw a circle, you don't draw a circle manually. That is not accurate. Then what you do? You will mention the dimensions and you apply. With the dimensions and angle will come. So manually we don't do to get very accurate. So we will use program. In a program, we will mention start point, end points. So automatically it joins. So accurate you can get. That is the reason through programming, we can achieve a lot of complicated things in a simple way. So in this first, in SAS, today we will see about variables in SAS. We will discuss the concept of variables in SAS. Actually, what is variable in programming? In simple terms, variables are storage locations in memory where you can store a value and use it as a part of any expression. So variables are storage locations in memory where you can store a value and use it as a part of any expression. That is the point about variable. In any computer programming, that is the definition for variables. So what does this means is, actually, suppose we are having some values, 2 pixel, 2 pixel, 3 pixel, and some gray color like this. Now this value I want to use for two reasons. For box shadow, I want to use. For text shadow also same I want, right? I want to use these for two purpose. Then what happens is I cannot write two times. Even if I write two times, later if I want to change both, then every time I need to update. What we do is these values we store in memory. We will store in memory. And this memory will have a reference name. It will have some reference name. So the memory reference where you want to store some value is defined with a dollar and any reference name. So, and in that name, now this value is stored. You want to apply, you can apply this for box shadow. You can apply this for text shadow. That means now some values are stored in the reference of a variable. That it is in the memory and allows you to access from anywhere. You don't need to write every time. You just need to store at one place. You can access and use from any place. Now here, what is the point is, if I want any change, then if I make change in the memory, here if I make any change, it is going to affect both places. It is going to affect in both locations. That means you made any change and it is going to affect everywhere, right? That is actually the concept of storing data in a variable. So without storing data in a variable, you can manage. But what is the main purpose is reusability. You can use anywhere, right? So how we configure variables? So SAS variables are defined by using dollar and reference name. That means dollar variable name. And you can store any type of CSS value in a variable. You can store any type of CSS value in a variable. That means actually, so we have to define dollar variable name and colon, and a colon, you have to define the value, whatever value you want to store. So you can define variable name and you can configure, right? So this is a simple point. What is the purpose and how to use the variable, right? So the main purpose of variable is to keep your data and use from different locations. Let's see yesterday's concept. Suppose I am going to this file effects.scss. Here you see there is a border for container. Same border I may use for heading also. So what border I given for container, I want same border for the heading also. So then here again, we need to write those effects. And we want some shadow. Then what we will do is this time here above we can declare a variable dollar. Border is the variable name. You can give any name, any name. So while giving a name for variable, some rules are there. What are the rules is, so variable naming conventions. So first point is variable name must start with an alphabet, alphabet. So don't use special characters in name. So name can be it can be alphanumeric. Alphanumeric means it can have alphabet and number, but cannot start with number. It must start with an alphabet only. And blank spaces not allowed. Blank spaces not allowed. So here important is use camel case for name. Camel case for naming. Camel case actually is nothing but, suppose we have background and color like this. Color we are just writing. That means camel case means it starts with lowercase. It starts with lowercase. And in between have an uppercase. And it will end with lowercase. Suppose we say text align. Like we say like font style, like that. That is the basic tradition actually. This is called camel case actually. For variable naming, we need to define that. Next important is variable have two scopes. Variable have two scopes. So one is global, another one is block. We have a global scope and block scope. So global allows to access from any block. And block scope allows only within the specified block. Only within the specified block. So block scope allows only within the specified block. Global scope allows to access anywhere. So for examples I will tell here. So for example, so we have a .scss file, some effects .scss. So this is called global scope. And inside there is some block. This is called block scope. This is called block scope. So it depends on where you declare. If you declare outside the block, it is accessible to all blocks. If you declare inside the block, it is accessible only in that block. That is accessibility, how you can define. So let's see here now. These are the basic rules. I'm going to border, and border I'm applying as 2 pixel solid some red color. So 2 or 4, yeah, pixel solid red color. Next, I am giving shadow as suppose 2 pixel, 2 pixel, and 3 pixel, some shadow as black. So that is the shadow I am defining. Now we have two variables. One is border and shadow. Now here for the container border, I want to use these values. Then you can just access the variable name $border here. That's it. And I want to apply for heading also. Then for heading border as $what border. I want to apply shadow for container. Then box shadow I will give as $shadow. And here I am defining $shadow. So this is the for heading text shadow. Heading have a text shadow. So text shadow I will give as $shadow. This is variables. And these variables are not known to CSS. So whatever you kept in the variables, it is going to use them inside the CSS as it is. Variables are ignored. Whatever programming concepts you kept in the file, they will be replaced with its original CSS, right? So now let's save this and let's compile this. So SCSS. Okay. Here we are compiling the code. What is it? SAS effects.scss and it is compiled. If there is any error, it will show what is error, where is the error occurred. Suppose for a variable, I am giving some equal something and I am saving that and I am compiling here. Then it shows errors. Expected : not equal. And which line error occurred. So it will display the error, right? So we are making the modification, yeah, and compile, that is done. Now let's open the index and see. So in the index, when we run this, okay. So when we run this in the index, it will display that. So this is the effect it is having. So we want to change. Suppose I want a different color shadow. Just what we have to do, we have to make the change in the variable. In the variable shadow color, I will give as some yellow. That is the shadow color. And after that, recompile again. Then it changes the shadow. So yellow is dominating with the yellow, right? Suppose I say red shadow or say blue shadow because the text is red and compile. Then it is going to affect in both places. Text shadow will be blue color and the box shadow also will be in blue color. I'm making the change in the border as 2 pixel. It is going to affect both the heading as well as this one. So suppose I'm also writing like padding as 20 pixel and this padding I will apply here instead of writing a standard value padding. And for heading also, I am giving the same padding. So whatever is there. Now the same padding is applied for both of them. And if I control at one, variable, it will affect everywhere. So a uniform effects you can apply. This is defining the variable and accessing the variable. So variable is accessed. Variable is accessed by using the dollar reference. Is accessed by using the dollar reference. So what we have to do, we need to define the CSS property colon and dollar variable name. Whatever the variable name is, we need to define it. That is the concept of a variables. Yeah. So this is one example. Example, same effects dot SCSS. And let me copy them. And this is the code. Index dot, how to translate every time, no need to give, that you can do, right? How to translate SAS effects dot SCSS effects dot CSS. That you always same process you need to follow. Index.html, same yesterday's. There is no change. Same technique you need to follow here. Index.html, same. So this is first thing, how we can define variables and we can use variables. Remember, you are not good at programming still as of now. You are just learning basics of programming. Once you finish your JavaScript, then you will be perfect in programming. Then you can implement a lot of programming skills on this. Then you can do more better, more effective, more techniques and tricks you will understand. So as of now, the basic technique, what is available in SAS, we will learn. So after, while learning programming, we will apply more interactions into this. Okay. Now that is variable. Next important is we have here in SAS few basic points. Like another one, we need to know about statements. So what are the statements and how do we use the statements? So the variables and the statements. Generally, what is the purpose of statement is actually statements are used to control execution flow in any computer programming. In any computer programming, the main purpose of statements is to control the execution flow. We can control the execution flow. Actually, statements will control the flow of execution. Why? Because in a program, whatever you written, it is executed in a sequential order. First line, second line, third line. After reaching third line, do you want to continue with fourth and fifth, or you want to jump to some eighth? Right? Now I need to make some decisions. Right? Is what I am expecting is matching. Is matching, then continue to apply these effects. If not matching, some other effects. Like that, we need to control the flow. So we can control the execution flow in any computer programming by using statements. Usually, lot of statements are present. So here we will see two basic important statements. One is, the if statement. The if statement. Actually, the purpose of if statement is, if statement, it is used in decision making. It is used in decision making. It is used in decision making. It checks the condition. It checks the condition and executes set of statements. Set of statements based on the value returned by condition. So based on the value returned by condition. So it is used in decision making. It checks the condition and executes set of statements based on the value returned by condition. So if condition true, then one set of statements, else another set of statements. That is a very basic level definition. In JavaScript, you will learn all the complex techniques, right? Here, this much is enough to understand, right? So decision making is done by using if. And here, important, so SAS statements are defined by using at the net. By using at the net. We need to configure by using at the net. Statements, variables are defined using $, and statements are defined by using at the net. Now, what are the statements and how to use them? Let's see one simple example. Suppose now I will apply some effects here. You have seen in Bootstrap, you have seen alerts. In Bootstrap, you saw the concept of alerts. And what special you saw about alerts is, so not only alerts, table, you saw when I apply as alert primary, automatically heading color is blue, right? Paragraph is blue, background is light blue, border is blue, everything changed to that. When I applied, what is it? BG success. Everything changed to green. It is not just one which is affected. So all are changing at a time. So that means how we can supply dynamic value in JavaScript you will learn. But how to change like that? That means we will just ask them which one you want, which effect you want. They will select that effect, and according to that, entire appearance will change. How do we know which one they selected? Based on that, how we can apply the effects. For that, you see, actually, we will write a simple decision like this. So we are having a option like I will use $ theme name. That is a theme name. I will give the theme name. By default, the theme name is success. By default, the theme name is success. Or we are just giving, or we will give, suppose, theme color. I will just give as theme color. Okay. And by default, the theme color is suppose green. That is the theme color. Now, what should happen is, if the theme color is green or red or blue, based on that, entire appearance must change. So first, we are writing a simple condition. at the net. So if here in the if, what we can do is actually this is if. In this if we are defining condition. If dollar theme color is equal to what, which color? Green. If it is green, then what are the effects you want to apply? Then for container we will apply border as 2 pixel solid green color border, and background color as in green only. In green only, I will use a light green color like this. RGB, any values we can use. You already learned different value styles you can use. And what we will do for heading? So we'll give padding as 20 pixel. And for heading which style it is having? 2 style. For heading 2, we will apply color as green. So color as green we are defining. And this green, I will make it little more dark green. That is the green. So we have heading border defined for that. And we will put here one more is box shadow. So 2 pixel, 2 pixel and 2 pixel, and we will put as light green. So green only, but we will keep that green. So color, shadow color is something like this. We are adding. These are the effects need to apply if the theme color is green. Otherwise, we are using at the net, else if another condition. So we have multiple choices, right? Because in JavaScript you are going to learn what are the various forms of if. If condition have several forms. We call forward jump, simple decision, multiple decisions, multi-level decisions. You will learn all the forms, how to handle them. Here, another condition is else if, and the theme color so is equal to which one? Suppose if it is red, then what should happen? Now same effects I will copy here. How to reuse them, I will tell you in the next point, without rewriting them. Without rewriting, we can reuse that code, right? I will show you that. Here, so what is it? Border color will be set to what? Red. And this will be, so in red color only. So that is the light red. And this also in red color only, this shade we are applying there. That is the same red shade we are defining. And heading also the same red, dark red we will apply there and define. That is the effect we want for red. And now if it is not matching with red or green, then we will use at the net else. Else indicates if both are not matching. That means they given some other color which is not there. If both conditions are not matching, then what we will do? We will copy that here and we will apply. So the background color, the border, we will keep it as black. We'll keep that as black. And this we will keep as gray. That means we are keeping that as little gray. I think gray is here itself, light gray. Okay, that is the gray. And I will give here, this is also gray. And this is dark gray. like this, we are adding the effects. Now let's save this. You written 34 lines logic, but out of that only one code snippet will be added in CSS. That means it will not add all this into CSS. For that moment, what they chosen, only that will be added to CSS. Currently, which effect they selected? Green. Now let's compile. Now you can see that the index is in green. That means now the index is in that green. All effects changed simultaneously at the same time. Suppose I will go here and I will change the theme color as red. After that, you compile one more time. Automatically, it will set the red color. And observe very carefully, when I go to CSS, all are not applied. Only red related code is applied. You written 34 lines logic, but out of that only 9 will be applied, depending on which one he selected, right? It is not going to apply everything. It will apply only what is necessary for that. So this is actually how we can configure that. So how we can add the logic. So now you see, I go to CSS, add some other color. Suppose I added blue, but there is no blue. If there is no blue, then what will happen? It is going to apply another black. That means the alternative, what you defined in else, that is going to apply here, right? So this is called decision making. So it checks the condition. If condition matches, it will apply. Actually, what you can do in JavaScript, you can put a drop down. In the drop down, you can ask which theme you want. He will select red, green, or blue, and that will apply to the text dynamically. That is what we are going to achieve in JavaScript. Here, we are writing them and we are manually configuring them, right? So this is example. So this is example for one simple point, that is decision making. Syntactically, we write like this. At the net, if we have the condition and we need to apply the effects, effects on true, we can write like this. This is called forward jump. Forward jump. In this, there is no alternative. In this, there is no alternative. We don't have any alternative. That means only if the condition matching, it will apply. If condition is not matching, it will not do anything. This mechanism is called as forward jump. So in programming, we call this as forward jump. There is another simple decision. Simple decision usually contains if condition. And here we are defining statements. So effects on true. And it will have another at the net else. Else is having effects on false. False. This is called a simple decision. We call it simple decision. So in simple decision, you will have an alternative. Alternative means if condition satisfied, it will do one work. If not satisfied, it will do another. That is alternative. Another option is, so another syntax, we have multiple decisions. So multiple decisions. Usually multiple decisions contains at the net if condition 1, and we have effects on condition 1 true. So we have at the net else if another condition 2, and this is on effects on condition 2 true. And we have another one at the net what else. This is effects when both conditions, when all conditions, like that you can add any, all conditions false. This is called multiple decisions. Here we use if, else if like statements. This is all in JavaScript. You will see here also you can apply in various example. We will see while JavaScript when we are dealing with that. Remember, all these days what you learnt is different, and from here onwards it is different. All these days it looks like entertaining, it looks like very simple, right? But from hereafter, now you will feel the difficulty. If you don't concentrate and if you don't practice day by day. From hereafter you can't catch me. Understood? Because now logical skills will come. You have to put your brain well into this. Otherwise you can't handle this. Programming is not everybody's concept, right? Programming is not everybody's concept. Till now you haven't seen programming. You just saw presentations, right? Now once programming starts, this is where everybody feel the difficulty. If you are not concentrating, if you are concentrating and practicing, then it is not difficult. It's very easy, because programming logics are very complex. And out of 100 interviews you attend as UI developer, first you are tested on programming skills. If they are satisfied, then only they will take you. They will not see your presentation skills until they test your logical skills. Because software engineer is not a person who is a good designer, right? He is a person who is a good programmer, right? And the programmer, even design needs programming, right? That is the reason you are very much tested on logical skills. You need to practice day by day. You can't miss hereafter, right? So these all I will not overload on you at a time. Level by level we will discuss. So every topic, one example I am giving now. Once we learn programming, we can do more complex things inside it. So I just given a simple direct multiple decisions, multiple choice, like if, else if, but if can be written in so many ways. Only a condition. So a condition with else, condition with else if. You can have another one is multi-level conditions. Multi-level conditions. In multi-level conditions, usually it will be at the net if condition 1. And after that, we will have at the net if condition 2. And here, so we have like this. As of now, this okay. So these are effects on both conditions true. This is the option. And we have here at the net else, at the net else, this is effects. This is effects on condition 2 false. And we have again here else. So this is at the net else. So this is effects on condition 1 false. That is the approach. This is called multi-level. This is multi-level decision making. That means if the first condition satisfied, then it goes to the second. Second also satisfied, then it will go to the condition statement to execute. This is called multi-level. So we will not do this much complex now, right? So we will just do a simple, if you saw that, that's enough as of now. This all we are going to implement, right? After learning the language perfectly, we will implement, right? So what you saw out of this, you saw a simple multiple decisions. If theme is red, else if theme is green, so else what effects we need to apply, right? Now in this decision making, this is decision making. This is a statement. How to make it more simplified, I will tell you. We will make it more simplified. How to make it more simplified? So to make it more simplified, you need to know about another one. Let me finish the statement part, right? So in this statement, this is a decision making statement. I will give an example. Effects.scss. I will copy that. This is effects, and index.html is same. Index.html is same. So even you are defining so many categories here. In CSS, it is not applying all. It is applying only the block which is matching with that situation, right? Now, here is another important statement is we have. So the iteration statement. So the next one is the for iterator. The for iterator. The iteration statement. So the for iterator actually, so it is used to execute a set of statements repeatedly until the given condition is satisfied. Until the given condition is satisfied. So that is iterators, for iterators. Iterators, loops, these are all decisions. Here, how we can configure this iterator? Let's see that part. I will create a page. So I'm creating a page here. So another file, right? So I will keep a new SAS file. I say positions. Position.scss. Okay, this is position.scss. And we will create one HTML page, some position.html. Okay, position.html is there. Now in this, as I told you, here I am defining a simple div container. In this we have an image. Image source is public images. Suppose I have a1.jpg. So this is image. Okay. Now we are going to copy this, keep it as class box1. Okay. Now I have 4 images. Box1, box2, box3, box4. So A1, A2, A3, and A4. A5 is also there. A4. Only 4 are there. Now, these are the images I want to organize, arrange in some ladder way. I want to display in some alignments. Yesterday I told you. So now how to access all these boxes? We need to access all the boxes. Generally, we saw last session when I showed you this introduction, 10 boxes, you need to write 10 times. Now see how we can access all the boxes. What is similarity in all of these classes? So box is the word which is similar. Only this numbering is changing. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have headings. How many? 6. We are having the headings 6, right? So usually what we can do is now, suppose I'm defining simple. Let's go to the positions now. First, I'm writing wherever image is present. So the image width is 200 pixel. So height is also 200 or 100 we will give. That is the pixels image. And image and div both are having the same width and height. Now I want to apply. So I need to apply some placements for them, right? We need to define some placements. So I am writing at the net. So for is using for. So we have to declare a variable $I from starting from 1 to 4. That means I value start from 1 through 4. It starts from 1 through 4 up to 4. What it should do is it should access the class called box and hyphen. After box hyphen, the number will be changing. Then what we need to do is we need to bind this value to an ordinary string. Directly we cannot bind. Directly we cannot do that. We cannot do that. Actually, in SAS, we have a binding expression called hash curly brace. This is used to supply some dynamic value into your string. This is actually string. To that string, we need to add some dynamic value. Dynamic values are added using hash curly brace. Actually, in different technologies, dynamic values are added in different ways. For example, we have some JavaScript. In JavaScript, the dynamic values are added with $ curly brace. But here dollar is already used for variables. So we can't use that. So in Angular JS, they use double curly brace. In React, they will use a curly brace, right? So in SAS, so we have to use an hash curly brace like this. That depends. A dynamic value is binded like this. So here the dynamic value is binded in this way, right? Now here we have to use $I. That means it becomes how much? First time it becomes I value becomes 1. That will be applied here. After this, what happens? this I value, dollar I, this is the I value. Yeah. So the dollar I value is equal to dollar I plus 1. It will be incremented by 1. Internally, it is incremented by 1. That means it becomes how much? 2. 2. Like that, incrementation will happens until I value is 4. Until 4, that increment will happen. And after every increment, it will do this functionality. After every increment, it will do the functionality. It starts from which value? 1. And set which value? 4. And every time it will do this. 4 times it will do. And what happens now is, so we will use margin left. Margin left. So margin left, how many pixels you want? Margin left, I will use dollar I into 100 pixels. Dollar I into 100 pixels. That means for first time, so here for first time, it will be how much? It will be like box, and first time it is 1. And 1 after that, so it will be margin left. Margin left, it will be 1 into 100 pixel. 1 into 100 pixel. That means it will be how much? 100. 100 pixels. This will apply. After this, it will increment. Next time, next box is 2. For next box, margin what? Left. It will be 2 into 100 pixels. Every time it is 100 pixels. 2 into 100. That means second box will be at 200. Third box 300. Fourth box 400. We can use very complex mathematical calculations, even trigonometrical. Right? Even trigonometrical, square roots, cubes, anything we can use. Those you will see in JavaScript, right? Because now you are not ready for them, right? That much complex is not required because mathematical formulas applying is complex, right? So even we have algorithm formulas. That means even every performance is calculated through an algorithm. We have an algorithms. So very complex algorithm, binary algorithms will be there. Even IIT level people also feel difficult in understanding them. Even IIT level people also feel difficult in understanding those algorithms, right? That much in-depth not required for you, right? Why? Because we train people for even IITs also, because our Naresh IT is having NASCOM. We are affiliated with Government of India, Future Skills, NASCOM. So that means there we are collaborated with several IITs in India, right? And some IITs are getting the training from us, right? In various courses, So, and the point here is for them, data structures, binary conversions, algorithms, these are important topics. And when we start training them on those concepts, even they feel difficult. They are very great in their logical skills. They know better than us in logical skills. But the point is, when we start talking about these binaries, conversions, formulas, and a lot of interactions through logic, so algorithms, they feel little difficult. That's the reason that much in-depth mathematical formulas you don't need here. We can do a lot of, because CSS actually uses, so we have a calc. So you have a calculations. So we can use a lot of such calculations. We have calc, you have ceil, call. Different types of methods are available. These are different types of methods. So many types of methods are there. So we have, so ABS is absolute values, right? We have random generates a random numbers. These are all you will see in JavaScript. I will explain how we can handle them, right? So these requires a lot of complex things, right? As of now, we will go with simple $I into how much? 100. That means even we can calculate the powers. For example, you see, I will show a simple point. Suppose you see, I am showing a website. This is an website. So this is HDFC website. This is a HDFC bank website. In this HDFC bank website, we designed yesterday this calculator, personal loan calculator we designed using Bootstrap. We created. Now, important is you designed it just only. Now, how to calculate this interest? That means I'm selecting this time. I'm selecting this year's interest rate and click on calculate. Every month, how much they need to pay, it will show here. Now, what is the formula for this? What is the formula for calculating EMI, monthly EMI? You need mathematical knowledge. But this is designed by web designer. This is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It is designed by a full stack web developer, but it is mathematics. That means without knowing that mathematical formula, you cannot implement this at all. And even you know the mathematical formula, that will not work here. Because the mathematical formula need to be converted into a computer formula. Computer formulas different, mathematical formulas different. What is the equation for calculating EMI? The equation for calculating EMI, suppose I will show you EMI formula, calculating EMI. This is the EMI formula. EMI formula. This is the EMI formula actually. So this is the EMI formula. Now the question here is how you will write this in a computer program. And if you can write this, then only it works. Right? That is working already. That means they designed in JavaScript. They designed through calculations. Right? This is why it is complex now. Right? That means web developers' job is developing application for various business. And if the business is like a bank or any finance agent, it's very complicated now. That means you see, you have a Paytm. In Paytm, you open so many finance apps will be there. Stock market, finance related app. Those are all designed by you only. Right? Those are all designed by you. But how do you know stock formulas? How do you know finance formulas? You don't need to know. They will give you, but you need to learn how to convert them and use them here. That's what you are going to learn now. Okay. So in JavaScript, you are going to design this. Right? So here, such formulas, calculations are very complex in CSS also. In CSS also, so I showed you one, which one? Timing functions I showed you. I showed you timing functions. Remember? So transition, animation, timing functions. That means, for example, we have an image. So we have which one? Transition timing function. You see, these are the functions. Cubic Bezier. This is the function. So actually, so this is the function. And you see the function formula I will open here. That is the function actually. That is the function formulas actually. Usually what happens is these formulas and functions. So this is the option. This is the compatibility. Yeah? I will show you the report where it is, where this one, I will copy a diagram here. Cubic base, right? Graph, that its graph will be there. I will show you. Curve, this is, you can see this is the equation actually for that. This is the equations for that. These are the equations. These are the equations. That means for animation, this is the equation. How the animation is calculated? Do you know how the animation is calculated? How an object travels? You know science, huh? Physics, huh? Time, frequency. You learned those formulas. Without them, we can't design these, right? This is all scientific, right? So you don't need to be a technical guy, right? But you need to know these tricks. You need to learn them. That means how animation happens, how an object moves from one place to another place. It's a scientific formula, math, physics formula. So the time, frequency, parabola, and all these dimensions, right? So those formulas are internally written for you. You are just using them. You are using them. At experience level, you have to design them. That means in a company at experience level, he says that no, after reaching that point, it should move like a viper. Or after reaching that point, it should take a circle and come back. These are all the calculations that we do actually. We use the formulas for them. That means you see here, you are moving this and go, and you can see it will be like this. That means how the timing is compared. That means how it is working like that. That means there is some physics formula working behind it. Right? These are all complicated things. These are all very complex things. Right? So that is the reason generally when I already told you now, when anybody experienced person also, suppose you have 15 years experience, 20 years experience, you worked as a developer as 20 years in a company, and you are changing your company, and you want to go to a new company. Will that new company takes you without interview? No. Now the question is, for a 20 years experienced person, what should I ask in interview? I may think that he knows everything. No, he don't know everything. That means we have questions for even for the person who worked as a project manager for 20 years. He can't answer because whatever we know is context based. Means regularly what are used, regularly how it is used. That is only the part we are learning. You cannot say that I know everything in CSS. It will take your lifetime to learn everything in CSS. That means one this animation is enough. It will take for you for months to understand. Right? That is very complex. So what people are doing is they are learning what is necessary for that particular situation. Right? So these formulas are complex. We will gradually increase the complexities. From small options, we will go into complex things. So here now it is ready. Now let's compile this and see. We will compile. This time it is which CSS? Position. Position dot what? SCSS. And position dot what? CS. Okay. And link that position.css here. Actually, all images look like this. All images initially look like this. This is the original. Now we will link that CSS here, link relation, style sheet, and link href. It is from where? It is in SAS, SCSS, SCSS. In SCSS, it is position.css. And you can see now it will affect like this. And here there is a problem in pixels. Where is that? Actually, this pixel I haven't given a px na, right? We need to add that pixel. Compile, and you can see it will apply. That means we are applying the effect by using a simple iteration we are writing, right? So the negative way, the positive way, how the directions will work, right? These, if you can implement some more complex logics, you can create a lot of designs, presentations, right? So here it is actually done. Original CSS we will see now. Position CSS. It looks like this. That means box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4. So we don't need to write for all of them. Even there are 100, our logic is how much? Only 5, 6 lines. Right, that is the basic of how we can create an iterator. So syntactically, so it uses initializer and the upper bound value. It uses the initializer and upper bound value. So syntax, it will be like at the net for initializer from, so from this is lower bound to through upper bound, right? Upper bound. Lower bound means lowest value, upper bound means the highest. And this is how it should perform. That means we are writing like for. So reference from, so 1 through 10, something like this. So the value reference will be stored. That means the this reference value will be 1 to how much? 10, right? And that is the example here. We are having an example that is position.scss. Position.scss. Let me copy this. Inside these iterations, conditions will be there. Position.html. Position.html, we have this. Right now, that is a simple example of understanding the iterator. Now, next point is how we can reduce the complexity of reusing the code. Actually, you observe here, we are using the previous example. In this previous example, here, this is effects.ses. Yeah. In this example, you saw here what it is doing is, it is using the same logic again and again. Right? Only the values are changing. That means same effects are used again and again. Only the values are changing. So here 34 lines logic comes. Now how you can reuse that? If some set of logic is used again and again, if you want to make it easy to handle, then actually we have another concept in SAS. So we call the SAS concept as we have mixins. Mixins. In SAS, you have a concept called mixins. Actually, mixin It is used to refactor the code. Refactor the code. It is used for refactoring. Technically, we call it as refactor. Refactoring the code. What is meant by refactoring? What is the concept of refactoring? Actually, that refactor concept is nothing but, so I will show you here. So you see here, I am having some set of lines. When I'm having some set of lines, I'm selecting these lines. I'm right clicking on those lines, and there is an option called refactor. You will find an option called refactor. Refactor is the process of extracting these lines and storing in under one reference, so that that reference you can use everywhere. You don't need to write them. Extract the lines and store them in one reference so that you can just use that reference. This is called refactoring. So these are called methods, functions, like concepts. Actually, in software programming, these are called methods. We call them as methods. And the purpose of a method is to refactor the code. It is used for refactoring the code. So what is the point here? When I say refactor, so it is saying no refactors available because already we written it, right? We will create manually. So what is refactor? It is a refactor. Refactor is the process of extracting is a code snippet. Code snippet means code block, a code snippet, and encapsulate into a method, so that you can reuse the code without rewriting. So that you can reuse the code without rewriting. That is what actually the concept of mix-in. So mix-in refers to a method in computer programming. So that is actually mix-ins. So here, first thing is mix-in is defined. Mix-in is defined by using @mix-in. So mix-in, and here we have a name. So name and parameters, which are optional. It's not necessary. And here your code. We need to keep that here. Your code block. So that is what we need to define. Parameter is optional. It's not necessary to define parameter. So what are parameters? How the parameters are defined, you will see, you will learn. So, and important is you can access and use the mix-in from any location using @include and mix-in name. Using @include and mix-in name. We can use @include mix-in name. That is the way of accessing the mix-in and using the mix-in. So that is the point here. Let's see how we can simplify this. That means how we can reduce this now. See, what I'm doing is now how to reduce this code, this lengthy code, into a shorter form. So what we will do is here, so we will add a mix-in. In this mix-in name, I will give as set theme. Set theme is the mix-in. But what are the properties available for every theme. Properties are same. What are changing? Is every property changing? Every property is not changing. What is changing? All properties are same, but what is changing is border color changing, background color changing, border thickness and style are same, right? Border color only changing. Another one, background color changing. Padding is not changing. Padding is same. Box shadow color changing. Box shadow is same. Color only changing, right? 2 pixel is same. Heading color changing. Then what are the changing things in your mixin? You have to tell them here. One is dollar, a variable. We need to define a variable. One is what is changing? Border color. Okay, comma. Next what? Next what is changing? BG color. I will use shortcut, right? And another one, shadow color, right? We will use dollar shadow color. Shadow color. Okay, next one, H color. So I will use H color, heading color. Okay, after that, now I will copy this here. I will copy this part and I will put that logic here. And here, this color is coming from dollar. What is it? Border color. This color is coming from dollar. What is it? BG color. Okay, this is coming from where? Shadow color. Dollar what? Shadow color. And this is coming from H color. Dollar H color. That's. Now what you can do is, in every place, you can delete this logic now. Delete this logic in else. Delete this logic in else. Delete this logic. Now what you can do is here. So because you created a mixin now, so we need to access that mixin here. At the net include. That means if color is green, then at the net include, which mixin to include? Set theme. And it is expecting 4 colors. You just apply those 4 colors. What is the first color? So first color is what? Border color. Border color is what? Red. Second one is what? Background color. This is also red, but RGB. I will use light red like this. Okay, now. Next one, this is also red, but this is which color? This is which one? Shadow, na? Shadow, huh? Box shadow, na? Yes. Shadow color, what we will do? Dark red. So little darkness we will increase. Okay. Okay. What about next value? Heading. I will give more darker. Okay. That's how we are defining. That's it. That's it. You don't need to write anything else. This is how it will work. That is the theme. Right now, if it is green, then what we have to do? So we have to use what? At the net include. Include which one? Set theme. This is what? Green. So this is also green. And in that green, it is a light green. So here also green. So in that we will have dark green, right? So, and here also green. So this is more darker. So like that, we are adding the effects. Now, otherwise, else what? This is another condition. Else if what should happen? Just for clarity's sake, I am giving. So this is else if. What is the next option? That means we need to just use another one. What is it? At the net. At the net what? Include. Include what? Set theme. This is what? Black. Black. So, and this is also black. In that black, we will have a light gray color. I think light gray I will give right here. So that is black. So light gray color I will give. Fine, that is fine. Okay. Next option is shadow. Shadow is black. So that is the darkest. So little bit gray. Okay. And here one more is text color now. Black. So I'm just using text color, also some dark. Okay, all these gray effects I given. That's how we need to apply. Now this time, instead of rewriting this block again and again, previously 3 times I written, right? Now I can simply define here. So we can write one mix in, we can access and use it. Now let's apply this here, run this. This time this is SAS effects.css into that. Now I will change this color, theme color. Theme color is what? Red. I will apply the theme color red and compile it. And you run this index page and see. That means the red, I used reverse. So let's shift them. The green, I will shift this line here and this line here. Okay, now, right? Okay, I will compile this now, and you can see that is the red. That is the same. Same concept is working now. Just I change here the theme name. I change the theme name. Theme name is what? Green. Then if I change the name as green and I compile, then it is going to apply that effect there. But this time the code reusability came to picture. We were not rewriting the code. We are just reusing the code. And that is the concept of a mix-ins. So this is the example with the mix-in. This is effects dot what? SCSS. This is, and this is index.html. HTML page not changed anywhere, right? That's the same. This is the concept of mix-in. Now one more option is there, functions and imports, how to use them. That we'll see in next session. Then we can start working with JavaScript now, right? We will go into the part of JavaScript. So Monday we will discuss about more about these options in this SAS. What else is there, right? Okay, right.